Welcome back, everyone. For those just joining us, the world of sports you knew yesterday has been completely reshaped overnight. The tennis world is no stranger to the conversation of upsets. We dissect rankings, scrutinize seedings, and endlessly argue over the likely victors. Yet, what unfolded this evening in Manila was no mere surprise. It was a tectonic event that has shaken the sport to its core. This was a thunderous announcement of a new force. The story is simple, but its consequences are profoundly intricate. An entire country is reeling as Alexandra Eala has just stunned world number 33 Camila Osorio in the Philippine Open quarterfinals. The story of this debut, 2026 WTA 125 Philippine Open, has been defined by a sense of reserved hope. Hordes of local supporters packed the stadium to see their hometown champion, Alex, who is perhaps the greatest talent to ever emerge from the Philippines in tennis. They came prepared to roar, to believe, and to honor the much-anticipated comeback of women's pro tennis to this part of the world. Yet almost no one, likely not even her most loyal fans, truly anticipated a victory of this scale. In tonight's quarterfinal match, Eala stood across the court from the formidable Camila Osorio. Let's be clear about who Osorio truly is, because she is far more than just another name on the roster. This is a clay court behemoth, an athlete who has climbed as high as world number 33, while both are former U.S. Open junior champions. Osorio boasts years of invaluable experience on the professional circuit. Osorio's reputation is built on pure grit, a relentless baseline strategy, and her power to wear down rivals with brute force. She came to Manila as more than a competitor. She was a predator, poised to overpower a tournament field she towered over in rank. Theoretically, the outcome of this match was already a foregone conclusion. The expectation was for Osorio's veteran status to overwhelm the young challenger, given the vast difference in their rankings. Their experience levels were worlds apart, but tonight, through 3 punishing sets in Manila's oppressive humidity, Alexandra Eala tore up that pre-written narrative. We're getting breaking news coming out of Bogota and Medellin, suggesting Colombia's sports journalists are utterly stunned, as Osorio was overwhelmingly expected to win this entire tournament. She was supposed to be the wall that ended this Cinderella story, but instead, she became just another chapter in it. This victory wasn't a fluke or a gift of mistakes. It was an absolute masterclass in strategy. We saw the left-handed Eala masterfully exploit the court's angles in ways we've never seen from her before. Her signature forehand was a cannon, launching shots with speed and accuracy that trapped one of the tour's best defenders far from the net. However, the essence of this night transcends the game itself. It's all about the electric atmosphere. Eyewitness accounts from within the arena confirm the sound inside was overwhelmingly thunderous. The capacity crowd in the historic Rizal Memorial practically carried their hometown hero across the finish line with their energy. Each point for Eala triggered a deafening eruption from the stands, while every Osorio misstep was met with crushing, palpable pressure. This win launches Eala into the semifinals, yet its true significance extends far beyond that milestone. It confirms the success of her challenging move to the pros. A journey from prodigy to a player battling for a place at the top. She clawed her way into the top 200, and then broke into the top 150. By defeating a top 50 player and former world number 33 like Osorio, Eala has now proven she can not only compete with the best, but conquer them. So get ready for this. We're about to dissect this stunning match moment by moment. We will explore the mental game, the strategies, the serve statistics, and the critical second set pivot that changed everything. We'll analyze Osorio's collapse and how Eala triumphed in this match that left one nation stunned and another ecstatic. This is our in-depth analysis of the Philippine Open quarterfinal. Let's dive straight into the breakdown. To grasp the full importance of this win, we must first analyze the players involved. This was more than a simple matchup. It was a clash of opposing tennis ideologies and divergent career paths. Let's begin with Camila Osorio, whose name was impossible to miss when the tournament draw was announced. The Colombian athlete is the absolute definition of a true fighter. Her entire style is founded on tenacious defense and powerful counterattacks, thriving in grueling, physical contests. She forces her opponents to fight relentlessly for every single point they earn. Hailing from South America's clay courts, she applies her punishing topspin and relentless work ethic to any surface she encounters. Even here, on Manila's humid and slow hard courts, the advantage was projected to be Osorio's. But why was that? Slow hard courts reward the relentless grinder, the athlete who can return one more shot than their opponent. This defines Osorio's game. Across the net stands Alexandra Eala, a player whose story has perpetually been one of immense potential. Her power is undeniable, her left-handed forehand is elite, and her pedigree from the Rafa Nadal Academy is unquestionable. Yet, questions have historically lingered over her consistency and her agility on the court. Was she capable of sustaining a rally against a top-tier defender without making a crucial mistake? Could she manage the varied and unpredictable shots from seasoned veterans? Tonight, under the brilliant lights, all those doubts were decisively erased. The match began exactly as the pundits and analysts had predicted it would play out. In the first set, Colombian star Osorio delivered a brilliant display of veteran tactical prowess. She started aggressively, relentlessly targeting Eala's backhand and giving the Filipina star no pace to work with. Osorio recognizes that young, powerful opponents, like Eala, thrive on building a consistent rhythm, a simple fact of the game. Give them a hard shot, and they'll send it back with even greater force. So, Osorio opted for a different tactic. She intentionally slowed the ball down, using a frustrating combination of slices, high lobs, and cunning drop shots to disrupt Eala's timing completely. For the first 30 minutes, the hometown favorite seemed entirely overwhelmed by the challenge. Gradually, the number of unforced errors from Eala's forehand began to steadily mount. The crowd, once roaring with excitement, grew noticeably quiet, as Osorio secured an early break, jumping ahead 3-1, then 4-2. Osorio's defensive barrier seemed absolutely unbreakable. Each time Eala thought she had hit a winning shot, the ball came back deep, forcing her to reset and build the point all over again. Osorio captured the first set 6-4, and the player's body language at that moment told a clear story. You would have been forgiven for thinking the match was essentially over. The Colombian was fiercely pumping her fist, engaging with her team, and looked completely energized. Conversely, Eala looked shaken, gazing at her racket and questioning her own strategy. The difference in high-level tour experience was stark. Osorio knew how to close, while Eala was still learning how to build a point. But it's at this exact moment that the story of the match takes a dramatic twist. In the crucial break between the first and second sets, a profound change took place. What was said or thought during that interval is unknown, but Eala returned with a completely new game plan. Instead of trying to muscle through Osorio's defense, a failed tactic, Eala began leveraging the geometry of the court. Here, the unique advantage of being a left-handed player became evident. Eala started hitting sharp, cross-court forehands that pulled Osorio wide, opening up the entire court for a winner down the line. While this strategic adjustment appeared subtle, its effect on the match's momentum was devastating for her opponent. By repeatedly forcing Osorio wide, Eala made the Colombian cover much more distant side to side. There is no question that Osorio is in phenomenal physical condition, but Manila's suffocating humidity is a different beast entirely. The thick, heavy air drains your stamina fast. By the middle of the second set, Osorio's recovery to the ball started to slow ever so slightly. The pivotal moment of the match came with the score tied at 3-all. Eala faced a dangerous situation on her serve. Down 15-40, 2 crucial break points threatened to give Osorio the match, but this was precisely where the incredible comeback began. Eala didn't play it safe. She risked a blistering serve out wide and hit a clean ace. On the very next point, she smashed a courageous drive volley for a winner. She successfully held her serve, and that single hold ignited a fire as the crowd immediately sensed the shift in momentum. The feeling inside the arena transformed in an instant from tense anxiety to an explosion of overwhelming support. Capitalizing on her momentum, Eala immediately broke Osorio's serve, finally solving the defensive riddle. She then proceeded to capture the second set, 6-4. This initiated the decisive third set, a stage where rankings often foretell the final result. A top 50 player should steady herself, using experience to crush a challenger. However, Osorio failed to rally. Instead, she completely unraveled, and the reason for this breakdown was remarkably straightforward. Eala relentlessly pressed her advantage, attacking from inside the baseline and stealing precious time from Osorio. This aggressive strategy is a defining characteristic of the sport's greatest champions. Taking time away from a defensive master is the only proven way to effectively break them down. Eala was executing first-strike tennis flawlessly, mastering the serve +1 and return +1 plays. A single point at 2-all in the final set perfectly captured the essence of their struggle. In a punishing 24-shot rally, Osorio threw her entire arsenal at Eala, unleashing vicious slices and heavy topspin. Yet Eala withstood the entire onslaught with unwavering patience. Anticipating the perfect short ball, she fired a forehand down the line that kissed the baseline. Osorio was rooted to the spot. Paralyzed, she stared at the mark in disbelief, a moment that shattered her spirit completely. Immediately following that point, Osorio's unforced errors began to mount uncontrollably. The immense pressure, the roaring crowd, and Eala's relentless attack finally broke the Colombians' will to fight. As Eala stepped to the line to serve for the match at 5-3, the stadium fell silent before each serve, only to erupt into a deafening roar. The instant that each point was over, the match ended on an Osorio return that flew long, a subdued finish to a historically momentous victory. The match statistics tell a fascinating story, beginning with the breakpoint conversion rates. In the first set, Eala failed to convert on 3 breakpoint chances, but across the next 2 sets, she capitalized on 4 of 5 opportunities, which is the definition of clutch. Those are undoubtedly the numbers of a champion. Next, we must examine her second serve. Osorio dominated Eala's second serve in the first set, winning over 60% of those points. But in the final set, Eala used a high-kick serve aimed at Osorio's body, effectively jamming her opponent. Osorio's success rate against that serve then dropped to a mere 30% in the decider. That tactical shift saved the match for Eala. She also won 14 of 18 net approaches. Those figures show incredible self-belief and a commitment to controlling the rally's outcome, on her own terms, refusing to wait for mistakes from a defensive powerhouse like Osorio. To win you must attack, and Eala did just that. Now let's discuss the world number 33 ranking. While official rankings can fluctuate, there is no question that Osorio consistently plays like a top 35 opponent, with past wins over Grand Slam champions. For Alexandra Eala to not just compete with, but utterly dismantle an opponent with such strong resume is a massive leap for her career and sends an unmistakable message. It tells the tour that her ranking is just a number lagging behind her true ability. Her skills have undeniably reached an elite level. Conversely, this loss is a massive shock for Osorio, who expected a deep run for crucial ranking points. Being eliminated in the quarterfinals of a WTA 125 event, particularly against a lower-ranked local favorite, is a devastating blow to her 2026 season campaign. This performance raises serious questions about her ability to close out high-stakes matches with a hostile crowd. You must consider the context. This is not just another tour stop. This is the inaugural tournament for the entire nation. For organizers, having the local hero upset the top seed in the quarterfinals is a dream scenario. This result all but guarantees a packed stadium for the semifinals. Securing immense media focus, she proudly places the Philippines on the global tennis stage. But for Camila Osorio and her team, the flight home will be agonizing after this tactical dismantling. They seem to misread the humid conditions and severely miscalculated the fierce fighting spirit of Alexandra Eala in this grueling contest. This match was ultimately won by sheer mental strength as Eala stepped onto the court, possessing the unshakable belief that she could conquer a proven giant killer. In contrast, Osorio perhaps fell prey to the assumption her higher ranking assured her the win. In professional sports, such complacency is the greatest adversary to peak performance. So, what's next? We must now analyze what this shocking result truly means for the future of the WTA Tour. Camila Osorio must now engage in deep reflection. A phenomenal athlete with a warrior's spirit will surely rebound. Even so, this particular duel revealed a glaring weakness against aggressive left-handed players on these faster, hard-court surfaces. She must develop a way to seize back control when attacked, rather than simply awaiting mistakes, because tonight, Eala relentlessly denied her any unearned points, forcing the issue. Osorio heads to her next event with something to prove, eager to re-establish her dominance. Make no mistake, however, she remains a formidable opponent in any tournament draw. For Alexandra Eala, however, the sky is now the limit after securing the landmark win of her career. We've seen her conquer junior Grand Slams and battle through the grueling ITF circuit. Yet, defeating a veteran of Osorio's status on a main stage with that level of pressure is what forges champions, and her confidence will now soar to new heights. This victory grants her a huge rankings boost, bringing a major milestone within her reach. She's now hunting for a top 100 debut, the key to direct Grand Slam entry. Beyond just the numbers, this win invigorates an entire nation that is famously and overwhelmingly devoted to basketball. Tonight, though, the entire country's heart beats passionately for the sport of tennis. Alex proved a Filipino can compete with the world's best, not just surviving but thriving. Heading into the semifinals, the question is no longer if she can merely compete. The pressing question now becomes, can she win the entire tournament? Every remaining player in this tournament is now on high alert and watching her closely. This inaugural Philippine Open is now defined by the grit of a young star who ignored the rankings. We will be tracking every serve and volley throughout this potentially historic journey. If you enjoyed this tactical deep dive into this stunning upset, be sure to subscribe. We are witnessing history being made right here, live from Manila. You absolutely do not want to miss what is about to happen next. Alexandra Eala has shocked Colombia, sent tremors through the tennis world, and proved she has arrived. Thank you for joining our in-depth look at this dramatic Philippine Open quarterfinal.